That's an Alameda. Yeah, that's a train. Yeah, it was probably just an engine. So during the riots, basically police officers were brought to the border so that no rioters would go into the city of Southgate. There was also local workshops by local police. This is by word of some of the elders who have been here for a really, really long time. Police officers were actually giving workshops to local community members on how to kill a black person, obviously using more harsh terms. So they would say, you know, shoot them and drag them inside your property, and you legally be protected by any, you know, law against you. So this is the type of, you know, racial tension that existed here, but it was also mostly because of the white folks who didn't want those folks coming into the community, you know. And that was the same with Latinos. Latinos wouldn't, black and brown folks couldn't cross over to Southgate without being harassed by the local police and being harassed and saying like, what are you doing here? What business do you have here in Southgate? Well, where are you going? You know? So that you know has changed now because, you know, well, not really, because there's also a lot of white folks in the force who are still kind of like, you know. So even as the populations change, you still have police officers who are not from the community, so there's not that, you know, connection. There's a big push for bringing more Latinos into the force, but you still have some of that tension remaining. So what you can see here on Alameda, I can't see where we're going. Oh yeah, but I can see where we are. Oh yeah, so if you look to your right, that's the Central Metal and other facilities. But what you can see on Alameda is that there's this huge strip from South Los Angeles when it's leaving downtown LA all the way to Wilmington of recycling facilities and auto dismantling going on here on Alameda. So there's a couple glass recycling places as well, or places where you can switch your windshield. But all the way down to Wilmington, you're going to see this type of industry here. And then just right on the other side of these facilities, it's a small, just one block. On the other side is residential. So on that side, to your left, is unincorporated Los Angeles, or Florence, Firestone, Graham. And then to your right, you have unincorporated Walnut Park. And then you have Huntington Park. So that development that we just left on Florence, yes, are we? No, we're not there yet. Yeah, so this is where the glass recycling facility was on the other side of this wall here. And then as soon as it ends here, this is the residential area. So you have a lot of residential pockets in between a lot of high industrial zones, or high industrial or small zones for industry or auto body shops, in between a lot of residential. But that's one of the things that creates this cumulative effect, is that you have numerous sources of pollution. You have freeway type of pollution, and then you have stationary facilities that are probably not being watched by the different regulatory agencies. To your right, this development is one example of brownfield revitalization. This is actually developed by the first Latino developer. This used to be warehouses and a bunch of different, you know, industrial pieces of land that were abandoned for a really, really long time. And then this developer got a hold of this land, and he just decided to plan it out. And before it was actually developed, it was really funny that